Hey folks, it's Nate. Thanks for joining me once again as we look to the horizon. I am back with another writing vlog update. This is going to be a pretty short one. It was fun to look a couple of years ahead into the future to things that I want to do and just sort of ramble about those. But right now, I got to focus on the daily grind to get out the actual work. So, what have I been doing? Right now, I've been focusing on building up a backlog of chapters for the Gospel According to Earth. Before I went on vacation, I had 2 weeks of lead stuff built up. After I got back from vacation, I was getting back in the groove of things. I was wrapping up my edits on Burning Bright, so I fell a little bit behind. I had about half a week built up, and now I'm back to a full week and a little bit more. I'm hoping by the end of this week, I will once again have a 2 week buffer zone built up for my blog. That's always nice to have. It makes me feel like I can focus on what really needs to be worked on at any given moment rather than just running on a treadmill trying to keep up with what needs to go out the very next second. So I've done that. I am venturing into the mysterious world of formatting for EPUB. So that's the process of putting out both a Kindle version and a generic ebook version of Burning Bright. So one of those, of course, is for self-publishing on Amazon. That would be the Kindle version. And then I'm also going to investigate what it takes to get a version of your ebook out through Barnes and Noble. That will be my second step because obviously Amazon is the biggest market right now, so that's where we're going to start. That is something I've never looked at before. I write in OpenOffice as opposed to Microsoft Word proper. OpenOffice is very similar to Microsoft Word, and in fact, it can format its files in a couple of different Microsoft Word formats. So if I have to submit a Word document for either of these EPUB services, it's possible that I can do that. But I believe, at least for Amazon, the format is PDF, and OpenOffice can make PDFs just fine. So I don't anticipate any hangups there. It's just figuring out, if I want to include images, which obviously I want to do for the cover. If I want to include specific kinds of formatting, for example, for the table of contents, for the acknowledgements page, that kind of thing. What I need to do there, that's more of a question mark right now. I'm looking into that. It doesn't look that complicated, but I want to make sure all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed, and I'm probably going to have to redo several things along the way anyway, because this is my first time doing it, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. Cover-wise, I have gotten a quote from one artist on the cover. I'm holding off on pulling the trigger on that because it's more than I'm entirely comfortable with. Cover art is very important. It is what makes your book stand out amongst the hundreds of books that are published through Kindle and Amazon every day. But I mean, there is a meaning to putting a lot of money into it. I'm just not sure I want to put that much money into it, so I'm working on that. It is pretty important. We'll see. And that's pretty much where I'm at. So like I said, not a very long video, just a quick update. Right now we're splitting our focus between the stuff that really needs to be done and the long-term project, which is kind of where I like to be. I have just two things in the air right now. Well, okay, technically a third. I still have one of my collaborative projects open, and I'm making some edits on that. But we're past the primary drafting phase of that project, so edits are almost their own headspace. It's kind of interesting. It's much easier to redraft and correct continuity errors and things like that, and even write one or two new scenes, or at least some new lines of dialogue, than it is to completely conjure a scene out of whole cloth, which is what you're doing in the first draft. It can be easier, it can be harder, but it's a different set of brain muscles almost. Like you can write one fresh new scene and then you can go back and edit a second scene, and you will feel like you have exercised two sets of mental muscles almost. So that's pretty easy to balance with the writing of the new stuff. This formatting stuff, on the other hand, entirely new brain space that I'm not used to using yet. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's what I've got for you this week. Hopefully you enjoyed that. There's a like button and a subscribe button down below. You can use those as you see fit, and I will talk to you later.